There we go. Test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3, and we're good to go. All right. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a great day. Loki wants to say hello. Oh, yeah, he wants to at least come over to the side. Okay. Well, anyway, hope you guys are all having a good day. I know we streamed for a couple hours earlier together, and we basically talked about a whole bunch of the drama surrounding the Bitcoin spot ETF announcement, the hacking or the maybe hacking, or maybe it was a early posting. We're not really sure. We're going to be going in a little bit deeper into that today. Then we're going to be going back into the technicals as well, and just kind of going over everything, okay? If you guys notice me in this weird overcoat, it's just because after this stream, I'm going to go outside and smoke a cigar, and this overcoat is awesome, and I forgot to have my heater on downstairs for most of the day, so my downstairs is freezing. But anyway, hope you guys all had a good day. Let's get started here. And, hey Garcia, hey 762, hope you guys are doing well. Same with you, Astro. Let's kind of start off with what's basically going on from a technical aspect from Bitcoin. The easiest thing to do is just usually start with the highest time frames, then kind of work our way down. You know, the monthly chart still looks fine. We're not in any major dangers here of a flash crash or something like that, unless it happens at a you know, with whales coming in and that type of slam. We're not looking at something like this where it's a natural end of the cycle. We're just not there yet, okay? You can see the end of the cycle as far as the monthly chart was way over here, and then all of a sudden everything got really bad. We're still in green territory. We're not even slowing down from month to month as far as momentum is concerned. So everything from this point of view is still rock solid. Good to go, all right? Weekly chart, same thing here. Everything's still bullish. Despite all the nonsense we've had to deal with today, guess what? Bitcoin's still higher than where it was last week. You know what? It's still higher than it was a month ago. We are A-okay as far as this is concerned. A lot of the drama just has to do with what comes up for the next few days, okay? Daily chart, here's where things get a little bit more dicey, but they're not like necessarily terrible. You got a stochastic indicator that's bullish. You have an RSI that's bullish, and you have a MACD that's all bullish right now. Momentum is going just fine, not crazy, but good, and you can see that based off of the larger move we just had a couple days ago. We like what we see, okay? Now, here's where you guys might get a little bit more concerned, or you guys might be looking for other opportunities to buy, and this is going to be the same for a lot of altcoins and cryptocurrencies, no matter which, you know, no matter which type of altcoins you guys are looking for. But to start this off, let's really just focus on Bitcoin, okay? 4-hour chart, we're starting to turn bearish here. That means we might actually start to dip back down here below $45,000. That's not going to be something insane or crazy. It's just the way the technicals are pointing. I do want to let you guys know that when we are looking at technicals like this after an event like today, it's not so much that I'm going to tell you guys just to trade off the technicals because they're going to be working all the time. We've entered this level of heightened volatility because there's a lack of trust around the institution that is the SEC. So the next time we have an announcement here, we really don't know how the market is going to take it, whether it's going to be something more of a sell the news event or something more along the lines of, oh no, you know, we got to pump this sucker up because if I don't buy it now, I'm never going to get a chance to buy it this low again. Those are going to be the competing narratives. At this point, I'm just going to stick to some day trades. I might go YOLO for a long swing trade here, for like hold it for a week and see how it goes. But if I'm buying anything right now, you know, over the next few hours, my stop loss is pretty much going to be around 42,500, which is a huge move down from where I would normally have a stop loss. Normally, if I'm looking at these charts, my stop loss is going to be right down here around 43,200. I'm going to be doing something of a lower leverage, excuse me. That way I'm not risking so much, but it's just kind of the way I feel about this current market. Because earlier in the week, I was telling you guys, Sunday, a couple days ago, I was telling you guys I'm going long and I'm pretty happy about it, like right over here. I bought it, it dipped, and then it took off like a little dip and rip type of effect there. And that made me very happy because I was able to sell some up here for a profit. It took a little bit of time for me to buy back in. I bought back in. But then what happened? I bought in, we got the announcement, it spiked up. It was a false announcement that we crashed back down. Luckily, I was able to move my stop loss up. And that way, I looked back at the price action or my previous trades. I only made about 50 bucks off of that from that second buy-in over here plus the buy-in over there. So I was pretty bummed out about it. I still walked away a little bit richer, but you know, when you have news that like this that really messes up your entire trading strategy, you tend to get ticked off, right? But again, I'm one of the lucky ones. I ended up making some money after all this. So 4-hour chart, just about to get bearish. It leads me to believe we are going to be heading back down here a little bit. 1-hour chart is a little bit different. Here you're starting to see a little bit of a mellowing out. So I'm wondering if we're actually going to come back down all the way down here towards $45,000 even, or if we're going to just not come down that far and have something more of a consolidation where we get bumpy for a little bit of time. For me, let me just go to the 50-minute chart. 50, oh, there you go. Okay. You can see how wild of a move this was. It boggles the mind, but it's kind of funny at the same time. Typically what I'll do in these situations is if you're more aggressive, you might buy some right now and get an entry position. If it continues on this 4-hour downtrend, then from there, you're most likely going to add a little bit in every 5 to 10 hours, 5 to 12 hours, whenever you feel comfortable with it, just to get yourself a nice little average, in which case you can try to play it for the swing that could come over the next few days if the announcement really does come in the next few days now. We're about to go into Twitter and X and kind of figure out what exactly is going on, the newest updates. I've been kind of scanning them a little bit, and I found some tweets that can be interesting, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the SEC tries to prolong the announcement because of all this drama. And again, we're just going to have to go through some of those tweets and kind of see what we can find out. Now, as far as altcoins are concerned, same thing as I said earlier, but I just want to reiterate this to you guys quite a bit. Ethereum, not looking the best. It's looking a lot better now, actually, now that I take a quick peek at it. Last time we were talking about it on the 1-hour chart, it was breaking out. You had a buy signal right here, and I guess it did break out afterwards. That actually a pretty nice buy signal. 4-hour chart, more mixed, not bullish on the stochastic just yet, but it might actually get there. So you might actually see an Ethereum breakout today if Bitcoin just stays stable. If we're not crashing and burning, Bitcoin can go down like 500 points or something, and that's fine. But as long as it's not crashing with extreme volatility, I think you may actually see Ethereum have an opportunity, not going to do it for sure, but an opportunity to go higher. The way I'm looking at it right now is, of course, we have about 22 hours before this candle closes. But during that time, we have everything being bullish. We do have a change of character here that happened a few days ago. That's nice. So you might actually see Ethereum looking to have a boost. Let me go to the weekly chart. Nothing matters there. Nothing matters there. Everything's fine. You have an opportunity to trade Ethereum here. I would not have said that just earlier today. I would not have said that. But now we've had that kind of pump after Bitcoin itself has gone down. It looks a little bit better here. See Gagan's account about SEC compromise thoughts. Oh, I'll talk about that in a few seconds. And hey, Shannon, yeah, Loki's over here somewhere. Loki. Oh, he's on my feet. He's sleeping. Loki. Well, not sleeping, but Loki, where you at? I can see you. He's creeping along here somewhere. Oh, he's slipping off my overcoat. Come here. He's trying to find a toy because he's too excited. Yeah. What used to be a good toy. Oh, there he is. He's trying to be so nice, but attack. No, he's doing all right though. I think I tired him out. I just let him use the bathroom a few seconds ago, but he just walked out and walked right back in, so I think he got spooked by something outside. Normally when he gets spooked, he barks and growls, but I think it's just there's a storm outside. Last night I lost power for a little bit of time. It's just been a pain in the butt. But I'm also going to go film a cigar video from on top of my deck over here in a few minutes. I even brought one of my nice lights outside. I got my nice little reclining chair. I'm going to have a video about lighting your cigar in storm environment or rough weather, so to speak, because I have that nice ST DuPont lighter somewhere around here. But yeah, it'll be a good little thing here, but Loki's doing well. What's the time over there? Right now it's 6:07 p.m., so a little bit like, a little bit after dinner time, or maybe dinner time for most of you guys. So hey, Smooth Boy, we can go over here very fast before we start going over to other altcoins. Altcoin, same concept. Watch the hourly chart, watch the 4-hour chart. If you see any of those things hitting levels of resistance that are really more like straight up patterns that you guys all know and love by now, or those moving averages, that's what you're kind of buying up against. And as soon as you have that buy signal right up against that, it should have a pop. That pop, after that pop happens, it's incumbent upon you guys to make sure you're selling at least something to make sure you've locked in some type of profit, because we all know how volatile Bitcoin could be in these situations. All right, so a few things here. Let's just go through find as many things as we can here, because there's a whole bunch of memes here. Let's see. Oh no, these are, I mean, some of these are kind of from today, but really. Let's see. Notifications. There we go. All right, sorry about that. We'll just go through the list here. It's not too many of them, but there we go. So he deleted the previous tweet. There was a tweet earlier. Yeah, okay. So there was a tweet earlier, but he deleted it. The tweet was basically this right here, saying, today the SEC grants approval for the Bitcoin spot ETF for listing on all registered national securities exchanges. This tweet right here was false. The account, well, we don't know exactly what happened to the SEC account. We're going to be looking at Gary Gensler's post in a second, but we really don't know. Gary Gensler is not an honest broker of this type of information, so people just usually don't trust him, and I believe rightfully so, because of how he's tried to manipulate laws that don't even exist to try to stop cryptocurrency from growing within the United States. So people just don't trust him, and that's kind of led to a huge flurry, like there's a term for it that's more elegant than what I'm about to say, but basically it's there's a whole vacuum. I don't say vacuum's elegant, but it's good enough. There's a vacuum of information and trust, so everybody's speculating about what exactly happened. So after this tweet came out, Gary Gensler came out and said this: the SEC government Twitter account was compromised, and an unauthorized tweet was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. Okay, so we'll go back to tweets in a few seconds, but basically, there's a few things that could have happened here that might have caused this. The first one that the SEC is saying is that their account was compromised. Compromised means a whole lot of things, and it's very vague, and I think they use that vague term on purpose to really just like give them time to figure out exactly what happened, so they can try to put out some statement or spin it some way that they would deem worthy. Because right now, if you go over to CNBC is giving out misinformation, and they're saying that the X platform was hacked, and it wasn't actually the SEC that was hacked, it was the X platform. All right, and then you got another news station saying that it was just it was supposed to be approved, but they sent out the tweet too early. And so there's a few different ways this call could have happened. Let's just kind of like, let me just put myself over here. And hey, Jamin, I appreciate it. What do you call, I hope you found my post there, because I saw it right as I was exiting off, and I was like, oh no, so I really want to make a post and say thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Let me put my face on here for a second. And again, I'm only wearing an overcoat because I'm going outside in a few minutes to go smoke a cigar. I'm normally not dressed like this for my streams, although this nice, I like the little flashy shirt underneath. Okay, so the first one is the SEC was compromised. I'm going to separate that from hack, because hack is a little bit more malicious if you ask me. So SEC compromised, the SEC was hacked, Twitter was hacked, X was hacked basically, or they pretty much, it was a true statement, there was no hack, there was no compromise, but there was a mistake on their social media manager, and that person, woman or female or man or boy, whatever, they, I don't know why I said for there, but man or woman, they, what do you call it, they accidentally posted the tweet a little too early, okay? So those are the big four at this point. I'm sure there's other speculations going on at this point in time, but those ones seem to be the ones that will have the highest possibility, if you ask me, okay? The highest possibility. And hey, Dinesh, happy to see you back. I feel like if I just keep dollar cost averaging, I'll be fine in the long term. I mean, that's usually the way to go. If you want an excuse to buy more at certain times during the Bitcoin cycle, typically what I'll say is to just add a single chart on your. Let me pull one up here. TradingView calls them something different, but I forget what they call them. Layout. Go over to your weekly chart on the layout. Get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of all this stuff. This stuff. This stuff. This stuff. Let me just do this for now. I'll put this as a pink, hot pink. That's the normal color I use. And just give yourself a 100 weekly moving average. To me, this represents the easiest opportunities to buy historically. So you can see all the way back over here, starting like 2015, when most of us probably even knew Bitcoin existed. You buy under the 100 weekly moving average, you're usually going to be just fine. You can see, sell above it. Oh, it dropped down below. Hey, this is a good opportunity to buy in hindsight. Good opportunities to buy. Good opportunities to buy. And you see what happens from each cycle, from all-time high to all-time high. Anytime you buy below, you're usually happy. You can see we broke above it here back in October. And now we're kind of off to the races again. But usually, if you just want to find the best times to dollar cost average, where maybe you can put a little bit more of your income into cryptocurrency, that's usually when I like to do it. For now, even though we've actually already broken out above it, it still makes sense to dollar cost average. The important part is just to make sure when Bitcoin hits all-time highs, whenever it hits those all-time highs, you just make sure to take some of those things, take some profit. Make sure you can go take your woman or your partner to a fancy dinner, have a good time, pay off some house debt, pay off some credit card debt, whatever you want to spend your money on. Heck, when I got my Dogecoin money back in the day, I bought a brand new TV, a brand new sofa, a brand new entertainment system, a whole bunch of stuff. I did make a lot of money besides Dogecoin too, but still, there's that Dogecoin money went more to having a lot more fun. The other money went to paying taxes and stuff. Don't forget about the taxes. Let's see. Hey, Alex, hope you're doing well. It was a way to delay the approval. Yeah, I mean that is one of the theories being floated out right now. It is not. I think it's valid or fair that people can hold that assumption. Like I said before earlier in the stream, people don't trust the SEC because of Gary Gensler. He has not been a good faith negotiator nor a good faith actor, in my opinion, when dealing with all this stuff. The way he's tried to get this brought to court, lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, and every single time the court comes back and kicks him in the butt, kicks him in the butt, kicks him in the butt. And you're just like, why you keep doing this? And, and I think now there's been enough rumors where I could feel comfortable saying this, well, I've already said it before, but, I think he's after Janet Yellen's job. As you guys know, this is an election year in America. Donald Trump is going up against Joe Biden at this point. I think that's just pretty much what's going to happen here. We're going to have a rematch. If Joe Biden wins again, and that may happen if Trump's not on ballots in certain states, right? So even if the polling says that Trump's probably going to win now, politics is politics. If that happens, Janet Yellen, who is the current Treasury Secretary, she's probably going to retire because she is old. She looks kind of miserable at the job. She doesn't really have a strong voice, and she really hasn't done the best job. Or she maybe done a decent job with the hand she was dealt. Let me give her that. She was good in her heyday, but like all of us, we kind of just get old, and we just really need some younger blood there. And the Treasury Secretary, I think Trump's guy was ancient. I think Obama's guy was a little bit younger. But the last couple, they were up there. But basically, he's going after that job. The purpose of that job is to protect the dollar, protect the dollar, protect the dollar, protect the dollar. I'm thinking he's going to realize pretty soon that he really can't do too much to protect the U.S. dollar, just because the government keeps on spending so much money that, again, the more money printed out there, the less valuable it's pretty much worth. And we've seen how inflation's really started to, inflation's been kicking all of our butts, right? Been kicking all of our butts. So he's going to have an issue there. But yeah, it just, people don't trust him. And I think over the last few minutes as well, Justin, Elon Musk X is investigating the cause of the SEC hack. The SEC says it will work with law enforcement to investigate the hack. To me, that kind of means FBI, perhaps. And then you had the U.S. Senator calls for the SEC hack unacceptable. Congress wants answers. They had the guy's name here. Senator Bill Hagerty says what happened with the SEC is unacceptable, yada, yada, yada. I'm not entirely sure if Bill Hagerty is a Republican or a Democrat. Usually when people come out, it's usually against the party, so this is probably going to be a Republican, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, a couple things here. Let me turn the audio up a little bit. I was going to have music playing, or maybe music was playing, but I'm just going to pause it here. And I'm going to play this video here. Now, this is from CNBC. Justin, CNBC falsely claims X was hacked and the SEC was not hacked. We'll see what she has to say, but I don't believe this as of yet. Mostly because they've given out a lot of bad information throughout the day. And earlier when we were actually watching CNBC Live talk about this, they tried to paint Elon Musk as a horrible person when this was all about Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Elon Musk are not, they kind of deal in the same fields every now and again, but not really. And so they just spent the entire time attacking Elon and X, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on right now? They tried to draw that line and it just wasn't working out in the best way. I don't know if it's gonna work right now. Let me refresh the page, make sure it does. Nope, I'm pretty sure this video is bugged out. So let me go over here. CNBC, media. I'm seeing a whole bunch.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I had to go to one that's not on this guy's account.
So I'm just going to reiterate it one more time. It would appear that X has been hacked, that the U.S. government, the SEC, has not been hacked, right, which in of itself would have been quite interesting since the SEC is also regulating all of these cybersecurity issues and hacks for public or private sector as well right now. But bottom line, this is not true. We don't have this. Focus on the SEC website, perhaps, rather than some of the social media platforms.
Yeah, and you can even see the guy's post right here. Oh, the guy even that posted says, CNBC says X was hacked. This is not a true statement. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of misinformation coming along, and it seems that we'll figure it out. I mean, honestly, we'll figure it out. But it's going to be a messy time regardless. It's just going to get more and more messy. Oh, Loki might be sleepy. You're welcome. Oh, thank you very much, Jane. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's over here in the corner trying to take a nap, but every time I look at him, he's like, do you want to go play? Do you want to go play? Because I told him I was going, like you guys heard me say, I'm going outside in Lobo to smoke a cigar. Every time I smoke a cigar, I usually, when I'm not in here, I will go on the balcony, and he likes staying on the ground by the balcony, and I'll light up my fire pit, you know? And then when I light the fire pit, he gets, I bring a little blanket and a bed out there for him. He cozies up. He's enjoying all the stormy weather lately as long as he's not being poured down upon by the rain. But he's having a good time. Here, let me show you him again. Loki. Here. This overcoat's kind of a weird size because I haven't had it tailored yet. Loki. He's just trying to find a toy to bring to me. But here. Loki, get that one. Up. Oh. See, he has a bunch of little toys like this. I don't know what a Zeus Fitness is, but it looked like really cool at the store and he wanted it. Loki, up. Oh, you can't look into the camera, can you? Maybe look over here. Loki, come here. Loki. No, not that way. But... And... Up. No. No, he's just going for different toys now. Alright, you're a good boy. I'm gonna have to clean this jacket off just a tad. But yeah, he's doing good. He's wagging his tail, having a good day, getting some scratches on his neck. Now he just wants scratches on his butt. Let's see. And hey, Daniel, you sold yourself your Doge and got yourself a BMW. That is really nice. I haven't bought a car since 2013. I've been waiting for my car to break down forever, and it just never does. It's weird, but I guess I don't abuse my car all too much. You sold your Doge and bought yourself a Tesla. Ooh, a Tesla's very nice as well. BMWs and Teslas, that's the way to go. And hey, Sin, happy to see you back. All right, so let's go back to some of these altcoins here, and I can give you a better idea of how to buy some of these. I noticed my phone is on here. I should probably charge that up pretty soon, too. Somebody outside, Loki? All right. Let's see. 1 hour chart Bitcoin, not much news here. We're basically seeing if we have this as a low, and we'll know pretty soon if over the next few hours we break out. Like I said before, I was waiting for a specific move to happen here. We didn't hit that move. Remember what I was talking about breaking it right there? It's the same thing. We're just taking so long to do it. Aggressive traders are going to be buying Bitcoin right now in anticipation of another pop. That pop will probably take them back up above, oh, I don't know, 46,800, 46,700. If we go up to this hourly chart, you're hoping for that big pop, take you right back up here. It's just basically going back into that order block. Sure, can it happen? Yes. Do I expect it to happen? I expect an attempt. I'm not entirely sure if I would say it's going to come back up because the 4 hour technicals are still pretty bearish. You're hoping for something of a more aggressive move from some of those whales out there that'll pump it up a little bit. So you might see some longer candles. It'll be fun to watch it, but I'll probably have to sit this one out, especially because with last night and today, my lights have been flicking a little bit. And last night, my house actually lost power for a certain amount of time. And while I don't really mind losing power, or I could always trade from my phone, you never want to trade your phone if you don't have to. I don't want my computer to be subject to be turning off, on. I think it actually does damage to it, so I don't want that to happen. But yeah, let's go through a couple more of these. Ethereum is a little bit more optimistic right now. Like I said, it turned bullish a little bit ago, and it actually had a couple hours of popping. If you guys want to hop into this one, you might just wait for the stochastic to get green, and then from there, it should actually continue popping off throughout the night. Ethereum really isn't my favorite, but at least it's back up to the relative highs, like the high zone here over the last few days, so it's better. Things like ADA, they've had their sell-offs, they've had their flushes like we talked about last week sometime. And it's been rough to kind of watch these. They had a little bit of a comeback, but honestly, even ADA's comeback, it really didn't do much. It got knocked down so fast. So, normally I try to go off with buy signals and stuff like this. The buy signal was right here. You had you had basically 4 hours of good times when you made your money. After that, it all came crumbling back down. And frankly, that sucks. So ADA is not really following my personal strategy, and I think that's just because we had all these death crosses overcoming, and I was like, okay, fine. Dogecoin, more in the bullish territory right now, looking to break back out. This one for Dogecoin, you basically have a price target of around 9 cents. Anything above that is going to be hard to justify if you're doing a day trade. Swing traders, you guys may hope for maybe up here towards like 0.093, 0.094. But again, Bitcoin's going to have a pretty large move if you want to see that. But keep an eye on the 1 hour charts and the 4 hour charts. Dogecoin is a little bit different. And that's why I'm kind of focusing on ADA and Dogecoin here. Dogecoin likes to go sideways a lot. And what that does is it messes up some of the oscillators that I use because it's mostly going sideways. So when you see this choppiness like this, and it's only in between a few cents here, like, it's just let's call it choppy. What you're going to notice is it's going to be a shorter time for you to be in the play. So we had a buy signal right here. Guess what? It went up a little bit, right? And it's still bullish. It could still go up even higher. But you saw what happened over here, 9 a.m. with the spike and things like that. It can always get nasty in a hurry, but I don't think we're going to have any announcements, at least throughout the rest of the night. So perhaps we can get Dogecoin going higher. Is it the time to buy Dogecoin? Really, no, because you missed the opportunity about 4 hours, 4 hours ago. You got stuff like AMP. This one just turned positive last hour. You want to see this break above the moving average here. Typically what I'll do is I'll be looking at 4 hour moving averages on the 4 hour chart while also paying attention to an hourly chart. So to do that, most of you guys would just come over here, go to each one of your moving averages. Let me just hide the 200. Yeah. And you just go from chart to 4 hour, chart to 4 hour. And then you're looking at all of your charts to the 1 hour, and you're like, okay, well, we have some upside here. I can see AMP going back up here to at least whatever this number is, 0.0034. And that move would bring it back up here like a cool 3%. That's what I'm looking at as far as optimistic trades. There are going to be other things that are moving right now, like Bonk is moving pretty well. That's something to consider. But, Ape Token, just turned bullish 4 hours ago. It might go a little bit higher here, maybe looking for a pop, but you clearly have some levels of resistance from 133 to 135, up again here till the 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Arbitrum popped above it. That was really nice to see with the buy signal. The buy signal over here was nice. It went up for a few hours. Although, you know, this time, I mean, I guess it did have a small pop, but not really what you're looking for. You can see over here how it was a nice level of resistance and support with those moving averages. That's typically what I like to see. But I think just because of what happened with Ethereum, it actually took off itself here. AVAX, pop right off there. The buy signal came in all the way over here. You're looking for those shorter trades. That's how I'd really say this day is going to go. AVAX just turned bullish a few hours ago. You might see it pop off a little bit more. Again, maybe back up to the order block here, but you really just want to see it break it back above that 20 moving average. Don't be afraid to zoom out a little bit and say, hey, it's not really popping off the 20 all too much. Maybe I got to wait and see how it does in the 50. It didn't really pop off at the 50 either. Do I want to trade AXS? No, probably don't. You know, and that's just the way it is sometimes. Don't be afraid to zoom out a little bit. You had the pop off here with Bitcoin Cash. It was okay. The buy signal came all the way down here. Change your character if you wanted to double down. So those are your opportunities right now. Binance coin may be something here. You know, you got something more like this as far as a breakout. Breakout, order blocks here. Buy signal came in a few hours ago. You're basically just kind of waiting to see what happens. You know, I hate to say the same thing over and over again, but yeah, that's basically what you're looking for here, the hourly chart, in my opinion. 2-hour chart right now. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. And we can see if Bitcoin's able to make some changes. But for now, what I have to do is change this back to 200 yellow. And I just want to change the time frames on my moving averages back to chart and not to the 4-hour because we're not looking at that right now. There we go. All right. Let's see. And hey, Gaga, appreciate it, man. Threshold popping. I logged at 174 and I'm up $2,500 so far. But oh, they need. Let's see. Off 20. Looks like you're doing good if you're making a profit then. Let's see. And hey, DK, cool. Thought you weren't going live anymore. No, I'll always be going live. What did I say? Oh, over the last few days, yeah. For all of you guys that have been watching, you guys have seen me for a while. If you guys are new, welcome. Basically, I've just noticed that with my channel, there's a weird thing that happens because I'm a streamer. I don't think people on YouTube, for the most part, like my technical analysis videos. I think a lot of you guys just like to watch me discuss it live like this so you guys can ask me questions and things like that. So you guys get my opinion, then you guys, you know, click off the live video, whatever. But when I try to do it in a video that's not live, basically what ends up happening is nobody really watches the whole thing. So the YouTube algorithm is designed to not push out videos where people are not watching the whole thing. It's like if you're only watching a snippet here, apparently YouTube doesn't like that, even though I feel like if you get what you need, you should be fine. So what I decided is I'm just gonna make those videos for members from now on. Nice and easy. I put out a member video today actually. And then from there, I'm just gonna give you guys my opinions on here while I'm streaming and in the Telegram channel, which is free. I'll put a link down below there is a link down below in the comments. If you guys want to join a free Telegram group, should be fine. Today it was kind of a mess because I was like, oh, look at this, Bitcoin's booming. Oh, on top of that, we have the Bitcoin spot ETF announcement. Oh, geez, it was a hack. Oh, well, that's not fun. And then I basically said, I'm just basically waiting a little bit to see what happens next. And that's the same thing I tell you guys. But basically when I'm out of the house a lot and I can't record a video or something like that, what I'll do is I'll just hop on my trading view app, I'll take a couple pictures and pretty much break down what I see, and that way you guys can have a little bit of an easier time. My goal here in the future is actually just to have be able to give you guys some small alerts when all the oscillators are kind of hitting on Bitcoin or Ethereum. I will show that to you guys and be like, hey, we're getting all these buy signals, go check out the charts and you guys can decide if you want to buy in. Something more like that. But yeah, I'll always be streaming. I'm not going to never stream. I enjoy it too much. I'm not streaming while I smoke a cigar tonight, but I thought about it. I think I'm just going to make a bunch of videos off of me smoking a cigar tonight for the other cigar channel, where I'm going to be talking about how to light a cigar. I'll be making a video about the spot Bitcoin ETF news. I'll be doing that. because the other channel, I changed the name if you guys didn't know. It's no longer Crypto and Cigars. It's Cigars Meet Ledger, so I can encompass more of a finance, so I can talk about the ETF stuff, I can talk about the stock market more, and people just aren't expecting cryptocurrency, and I feel like it sounds more elegant or something. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I just got a lot of cigars in today, and I got myself a new cigar holder. So basically, I got like 50-something cigars, no, 60-something cigars right now in my humidor, and I'm going to be having a blast trying them out over time. I'm just like, it's going to take some time because I'm making a lot of videos for each cigar, and I'm not the type of guy that smokes like multiple cigars a day. So like, I'll smoke a cigar today. I may smoke a cigar in like 3 to 4 more days, you know. I'm not a heavy cigar smoker, and I want to keep it that way. But I do like the channel. I do want to do more cigar content. I will always be streaming on this channel, that's for sure. And hey, now, man, we love the live show. Keep up the good work. Oh yeah, what do you call it? It's fine. I'm gonna be streaming for a while. Who thinks it was a hack? So, okay, there's a whole bunch of different theories. At this point, I'm gonna be that guy that says, hey, don't trust the news, don't trust the government. Just wait until we have a formal, coherent idea of what happened, because right now we just honestly don't have it. We don't. The 4 possibilities here are that X got hacked. The other one is the SEC got hacked. Okay. I guess at the same time, it could be that the person that posts from social media, maybe they have that account on the phone. Maybe that account got hacked, but I'm just going to leave that off for now. So SEC was hacked, or X was hacked, or it was a real SEC post, but it got dropped early on accident. And the fourth one, excuse me, whoosh. Excuse me. And the fourth one, oh geez, I forgot about the fourth one, but somebody could say it again. X hacked, SEC hacked, early post. There's one more thing, but I just honestly forgot what it was. But basically, we really just don't know. And I've kind of reiterated this a lot of times, and I'll just say it one more time during this stream. Gary Gensler is not an honest broker, and people just know that by now, so people just don't trust what he has to say. And I think it's not going to get better for him for a while. However, that's kind of the news today. The news, if you believe CNBC, they're saying X got hacked, and it wasn't the SEC that got hacked. We will just have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll get the truth of it here soon enough. 3 LOL. Okay, so maybe it is only 3. Elon needs to let us know if it's a hack. We've heard a few things here. We've heard that X is working to figure out what happened. That's one thing. The other one is the SEC is now working with law enforcement to figure out what happened. That's why everybody's so confused about what the news is saying, because the SEC is not saying what's happened. The X is not saying what's happened. So how does the news know what happened? So, everybody's just kind of throwing up stuff because they need the clicks and their links and stuff like that. We don't know. We just honestly don't know. Can you post a link to your other channel? I do not have the link known by heart, but if you just type in Cigars Meet Ledger, like if I go over here to incognito mode and just go to YouTube, and I just go to, Cigars Meet Ledger, it should pop up. Yeah, right there. I even posted one yesterday remember I started smoking a cigar last night. I posted my first cigar video. See how that works out there. But yeah, Cigar Meets Ledger. I'm going to put up a new photo here, basically. But yeah, 994 subscribers. The faster I get to 1,000, the better. And I'll be putting up some longer form videos. The video that I put out tomorrow is going to be a video where my phone is sideways, so you guys will be able to see everything. And then from there, I will cut it up into shorts so you guys can see the bite-sized versions as well. Because I'm just like, it's gonna be about the ETF stuff, lighting a cigar, all within the same video. And then I'll cut it up into different videos as well. So, portion of it lighting a cigar, another part talking about the ETF news, and then just having a nice casual conversation talking about the way the market's kind of working right now, stuff I think is important. And then from there, I'll cut it up into smaller videos, and then maybe I'll make some shorts off of that as well. It kind of just depends. It won't be exactly like that, because once I start smoking and I'm just relaxing, I'm like, I can smoke a cigar another day to talk about that. I can smoke another cigar to talk about that. Things like that. Gary trolling Elon, blaming it on X. Well, yeah, but remember, the reason I'm so hesitant about just blaming it on X, this could have very well been a hack on X, okay? I'm not denying that. It could have been. But have you guys noticed that over the past few weeks, they've really been going after Elon Musk like crazy? Like, they have these spurts where they just have to make sure that everybody knows Elon is a bad guy. And I don't know why they do it like that. And I think the last few days, wasn't there like a hit piece on him talking about Elon Musk and drugs and stuff? Do you know how much this guy talks? Like, we all know, like, he's an eccentric guy, stuff like that. But you haven't, like, if you've seen him talk anywhere, you know how he is as a person. He seems chill to me. I've watched him a lot. I've watched a lot of his videos. Seems perfectly fine. You know, there's a reason he's a billionaire. But if I go over here and type in Elon Musk, and here we go. Okay, right? And you go over to Google, which also doesn't like Elon Musk. Musk drug use concerns Tesla, SpaceX leaders, Washington, oh my God. The Journal, Washington State Journal. Why am I forgetting this? I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. But then you had this one. Elon Musk alleged drug use puts 13,000 jobs at risk. Report says Elon Musk criticizes Wall Street Journal. Jesus, Wall Street Journal. Reporting from his use on illegal drugs. Former CNN anchor. Oh, Don Lemon joins Elon Musk. That'll be interesting. I'm not too much of a fan of Don Lemon, to be honest, but I think that more people having their shows on X is good for the platform. Regardless if you believe his views or not, I think it's good for the platform. Musk's X signs content deal with Don Lemon, Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, and Jim. Oh, there's multiple people. Whoa, okay, look at that. He's making a move. Elon Musk married and divorced the same woman twice, paying her over a certain amount of money. Mark Ruffalo blasts Musk's ex for allowing disinformation after sharing. So, right? So, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. And it always breaks out a few days, you know, and they just go ham for it for a while. Then everybody forgets because you can't really cancel Elon Musk. It's just impossible. You can try to maybe make him pay a fee or something, but they've tried so many times, and every single time they failed. I think they're just doing it for sport at this point because they know the election's coming up, and they maybe want him to clamp down on misinformation, what they perceive to be misinformation. You probably already understand that. You know, but we'll see. But that's why I'm a little bit more hesitant about believing them. If they weren't so anti-Musk, you know, I would probably believe them a little bit more, but they really don't like the guy. And regardless of what you think about, like his politics or the way he's running X or Tesla or SpaceX or whatever other companies he has, right? I think he's doing fine. I like having Teslas on the road. I think they're good cars. People seem to like them. He's made a product that people enjoy. He's made it a more efficient way to get into space. He's made some cool ways to get satellites up into space with his Tesla stuff and his net things, Cybertruck, whatever. It's fine. He doesn't really have a positive or negative impact on my life. I don't think he has much of an impact on many of our lives, unless you guys are really into social media and you guys are on the X app like 24/7. You know, I don't think it really matters all too much. I think he, you know, but I think he's kind of a threat to the system that is, and he is not the typical really rich guy that kind of just uses his money to like enrich himself and just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go have fun over here, over here, over here. He's more of the guy that's like, oh, let me actually inflict change. And rich people doing change without the government is a really crazy thing. It's just something we don't really see happening all too often. Elon's a G. I mean, yeah, what do you call it? I have more positive feelings about him than negative feelings for sure. I don't really keep up with him all too much, but from what I've seen, I'm okay with it. I'm not concerned with Elon. I'm more concerned about the government and what their impact on my life is going to be. And oh boy, they've pretty much screwed up over the last few years. So we'll see. Like from COVID to now, it's been like a miserable. What was going through like a miserable decade? If you think about it, No, we haven't reached the halfway point. So no, I can't say that. The last 4 years have been freaking just shit, right? Just bad. I'm hoping we can get a turnaround. I don't know if it's Trump or Biden or DeSantis or the Dean Phillips guy, the Democrat from somewhere over there. Maybe Kennedy. somebody just to pull us out of this mess. I doubt it's going to be Biden based off of the way the last few years have gone. But, you know, you never know. Honestly, you just never know. Maybe he can have a change of ideology, you know, see what worked, see what didn't, make an adjustment. But it's just too much of a hassle, right? It's better to just work on what you guys can work on, grind throughout your days, and see if you guys can make a better life for yourself. Because if you trust the if you're hoping for the government to come in here and make your life better, it just hasn't been the fact lately. All I want is the government to make a reasonable economy for me to be able to thrive and grow. If I get that, I'm usually pretty happy. Just don't overtax me, and we'll be fine. Thoughts on Boeing? Okay, so Boeing, like, America cannot allow Boeing to fail because of all the military contracts, and we don't want to use Airbus planes in America. We have them, but we do not want them to be the main focus of them, okay? We want to have Boeing be the plane of America, Airbus to be the plane of Europe, and sure, their airlines will buy some Boeing planes, our airlines will buy some Airbus planes, so we can pretend like the fair market has some meaning here. However, I use these opportunities from Boeing as dollar cost average events for the long term. I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened with that last plane, the door blowing off. Was it a maintenance error? Was it what? You know, it sounds like it was Boeing's fault off the line. From what I've been able to scrounge up, you know. Excuse me. And so, I don't know if they're going to be getting any better anytime soon. And, you know, again, I have personal history with Boeing. My whole family at one point or another has worked for Boeing, except for me. So my great-grandparents worked for Boeing, all right? You see the old pictures of my great-grandfather. It's a whole bunch of old white dudes and this one old black dude with an afro, okay? That's my grandfather. My grandparents worked for Boeing. My mother worked for Boeing at a certain point in time. My uncle worked for Boeing at a certain point in time. One of my other grandpas worked for Boeing as a test pilot for a certain amount of time. I'm the guy that broke that chain because they didn't offer pensions anymore by the time I was able to go work there. So I know a lot about their systems and how everything works. It was back in, I believe it was back in 2012 to 2014. I think it might have even started a little bit earlier, but I wasn't aware of it. They started to move outside of Washington State, and they started to get new headquarters, and they were building new plants because if you go up to Washington, our workers are heavily unionized. They're good, but they're heavily unionized. And on top of that, they're really expensive. So they were looking for ways to move plants down to other parts of the country and get a much cheaper labor. Now, you can do that, but you have to be able to keep a certain degree of efficiency, right? Product quality when you make those types of moves. And they really weren't able to do that. And this is way back in the day. This is not like just a year ago or 2 years ago. This is when I first started seeing it happen. And then what happened first, it wasn't actually something crazy like this. It was the battery packs. I don't remember if you guys know, but there was a period of time where the batteries, the plane batteries, were just igniting and catching on fire. And then they had to fix all that type of stuff. The logistics was getting messed up at Boeing. It's a horrible thing. Right now, I think this is a much easier problem to fix. However, it's just a buying opportunity for me and Boeing. They have orders that are backed up. This was only one plane, and they're gonna the airlines that like to make money, they want to get the planes. They will only have an issue with this one plane. They won't spread it out to other Boeing planes, I don't believe, at this point in time, because the orders are so far backed up that if they cancel an order, eventually they're going to want to get another Boeing order filled up, but the line is going to be so long that their planes are just going to be older and older and older. I know a lot of you guys have gone flying over the past couple of years. You can have two separate planes. One is a very new Boeing plane, a really nice wide monitors. They're just amazing, right? Then you could have an older Boeing plane, which either has a very old clunky monitor or has no monitor whatsoever, and you're just like, wow, this plane fucking sucks. I ain't riding with Alaskan Airlines, or I'm not riding with Delta again. This plane is just horrible. You know, then you're like, oh, you might see an Airbus. Ooh, this Airbus is so nice. Oh, this Airbus is horrible. you know, it's based on the time, like how old the plane is, it matters. And, you know, we always realize this, or we hear that talked about all the time in the local news cast that we all watch. You go out there and you're like, the news will come in, oh, like, you know, millions of people flying today for Thanksgiving or holidays, breaking a new record. Planes are all over the place. I live next to an Air Force base over here in Washington State. I hear all types of planes, the C-17s rushing around, or even just the plain old, you know, Boeing and Airbus planes flying up here from the airports. But yeah, it's a culture thing right now at Boeing, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. They're going to have to replace a bunch of people, and I don't know if they're going to have the guts to do a mass, like some really good firings. Like, hey, this manager gone, this manager gone, this manager gone. We're revamping everything. We're taking a few months to stop production, and we are going to retrain everybody. This is the culture. This is the way we get it done. That's a lot of lost money. That shows up on your earnings reports. That, you know, that can hurt the shareholders. So I don't think they'll do something like that, but I think it's desperately what's needed, and they're going to have to pop up some money to get some really good quality managers. And then from there, those managers can, you know, whip the line workers into shape, basically, and get them to do a better job there. But, I mean, you can only whip a union worker so hard because they still have to take their, you know, their union whipping break, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, Boeing is going to be a little bit of a problem down the road. What does Disney say about, what does Elon say about Disney? He's controversial for sure. Any Amazon thoughts in 2024? For me, I think Amazon 2024 is more of an opportunity just to buy into it, dollar cost averaging. Right now, Amazon is too overvalued for me, so I just don't recommend buying it. It's could be good for day trading and swing trading, don't get me wrong. But if you're looking for a good hold for a few years, it's not the time to buy. You know, the market's at all-time highs. I don't want to even touch this market right now because of how crazy everything is. Once we go into a recession or some type of slowdown, regardless of what you think about the news and whatnot, they've kind of given us two options: slowdown or recession. When either one of those happens, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging into Amazon, just like I did it with Facebook back when it was crashing over and over and over again, and eventually you end out on top. I wasn't expecting Facebook to come back as fast with the huge tech boom that we saw last year. However, it did, so I sold off a large chunk of a lot of stuff I owned. I'm only in Nvidia maybe about 15 to 20% of my original holdings. So I'm just waiting for this market to turn over. Whenever it does, I think we have maybe a few more months of going up, and then I'm going to start coming back down. The only thing that will cause the stock market to come back down in a more rapid pace is basically we're going to have to see the inflation numbers creep back up. Even a 0.1 increase in inflation will be disastrous for us. Another 0.1% or another higher move on top of that with inflation, it'll cause a 5 to 6 month drawdown in the market. Everybody will be freaking out unless inflation can really have a massive drop after that. We'll see. Remember, the market's pricing in rate cuts in March. I don't see that happening. But I don't think the market will be like necessarily mad about it if it doesn't happen. I think we're gradually just saying, okay, well, maybe March was a little bit too premature. Maybe we can have the rates cut in June or July. I think the market would be just as fine with that because the economy is not slowing down as much as we thought because we're just injecting so much money. Remember, the government keeps on spending so much money, and it's good while the money's flowing in, but eventually we can't, eventually we just can't keep on printing all this money for all this stuff. We can try to say, oh yeah, we can do it forever, but we just can't. And when that bubble bursts, the the gravy train's over. We're gonna all go through some personal financial struggles. We're all gonna hopefully have a job at the end of the day, and that's what we're all looking for. Well, I guess my job is trading, so it's a little bit different, but still, it's gonna be a rough time for a lot of people, and I don't think anybody really wants that to happen. But the way the government can't control itself right now, and I don't understand why they can't control themselves. It's a collective, when you guys vote for your representative, I'm pretty sure if they're Democrat or Republican, in your district, you usually, if your guy wins, you usually believe he's doing the right thing when he gets sent off to Congress, right? If your guy loses, you're probably more skeptical. But if you guys, regardless if you're Republican or Democrat, if your guy wins, you honestly believe that he's going to do a good job while he's in there. And once they get there, they're just not. And it's been that way for a while now. So, you know, we find ways to say, hey, well, my guy is doing okay, but them as a whole are doing very bad. I'm just kind of wondering what causes all these people to get up there and just not be able to work together. It's like lobbying mixed in with like the old establishment characters and like, you know, high positions of power. It's a crazy time up there. I really wish there would be more books on the inner workings of why people give up on fundamental problems. You can think of Social Security. Like, I'm 29 years old. I do not expect to have Social Security when I'm older. I just don't think the government has what it takes to fix it. Do you guys have, you know, think that? That type of stuff is like, yeah, I'll just make money. I'll be fine. You know, I won't even probably be living in America when I retire. I'll be somewhere else having a blast. But, you know, there are lots of people that can't escape. They can't move out. They can't do what they want to do. And so that always makes it a little bit harder. Ronald McDonald, I would love that. I buy Boeing on plane crashes, easy flip. Yeah, I mean, yeah, what do you call it? It's a good long-term buying strategy if you want to buy those dips. Boeing, oh, that's what I was talking about before I got into the personal stuff. Yeah, Boeing, it can't fail. America won't allow it to fail. It will go through slumps, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, I buy Boeing for long-term for my retirement portfolio. I'm just waiting for them to hopefully one day they're going to reinstate their dividends. When they do that, I'm going to be so much happier. I don't really pay attention to Boeing stock price at all, and I mean at all. I don't really follow up any news on them at all. I used to maybe listen to it a little bit more when I had cable at my house, because then I could see the local news, because the local news will talk about Boeing all the time, because I think it's the state's largest employer. You know, we don't just make airplanes. We make freaking helicopters and all types of shit over here for Boeing. You know, engines, all that type of good stuff. So I'm a Seattle homegrown. Yeah, a little bit south of Tacoma, but yeah, I grew up over here in the Pacific Northwest. I love it. I spent my college years in Montana. That was also pretty fun. Except for the school sucked, but that Montana is a place to live, which is fantastic. But yeah, I go up to Seattle all the time. It's really relaxing, peaceful. Well, not, I don't know. All right. If you don't have money, Seattle's not very nice. Sometimes it can be not very peaceful. But if you have the money to be above it all, let's say like that, like, you know, eat dinners up in the nice skyscrapers and stuff, or the nice restaurants, it's a pretty chill place. If you're the service worker who works at a coffee shop there, it can be fun until you realize that, you know, one drink is the cost of like an hour of your day. You know, 1 hour of your day equals one cocktail. Pretty darn fucking nuts, right? I was drinking out with my friends the other day, and we were at this restaurant called the Fog Room. It's at the Charter Hotel off of 2nd Avenue, I believe. And it's called the Fog Room. A very, very nice place. And we were going there. They said they were open till like 1 o'clock, but we got there at like 11:30 and they were having last call. And I was like, well, fuck's sake. It was pretty busy in there too. I think everybody just wanted to go home. They weren't really expecting to get that busy or something. But I ordered this one drink, and it was absolutely delicious. I did not know what it was called. It was some old-fashioned cocktail type of thing from like the 1900s or something. But that one cocktail cost $25. Okay, $25. I was fine paying for it, but I noticed it was also $25. Right? So, a casual night out, $25 for a drink, it can be kind of pricey in Seattle. But then, you know, I can go over to I went over to the grunge bar afterwards, in this overcoat no less, in the grunge bar, and with my nice winter gloves, you know, and oops, I pushed a button with my gloves, slapping them down on my thing. And then from there, I met with my friend who's a bartender there. Not necessarily a friend, but he's a bartender that I always see there. He's really chill. And he hooked me up with drinks. I got a 14.7% beer, which was strong as heck. Got that beer. I got a really strong cocktail that he just concocted for me. And then I also got myself a shot. The only thing I paid for there was the beer. So, you know, and then I proceeded to walk back to, I took an Uber back to my friend's house. We talked for a little bit. And then as I was hanging out in their like little back porch in their little apartment area, because they live above a Japanese superstore called Hawaii Jumaya, like apartment complex, their power went out. So I just started to talk with all the neighbors that they had. That was like, oh shit, the power out. Walking around, seeing what I could find out, drinking some milk tea that they had, some Japanese milk tea or something, and some actual real tea. You know, a chill night. You can have a lot of fun. It's hard to make new friends in Seattle as far as I'm concerned. I'm not that good at it. I can make a friend with any bartender. I can make a friend with anybody usually. But just picking somebody out in the wild and making a friend with them, it's very difficult. We don't like to communicate outside of our cliques. So you got to really work hard to get into those new friend groups if you live out here. It's a challenge. But if you got money, depending on where you live, you're pretty much set. And I guess that goes for many other places out there as well. I remember the batteries. Yeah, it was crazy, the Boeing batteries. It was really crazy back in the day. They brought my grandmother, I think, out of retirement to go fix some stuff up in South Carolina because some of the departments were just in shambles because they were trying to save a whole bunch of money, but they didn't train up their new employees properly. And so they were just like, yeah. Boeing's a problem right now, right? The market is resembling when everyone was saying transitory before the big flop. Yeah, it really is. It really is. But again, at this point, I think if you played this last market cycle, you've walked away with at least a good amount of money. Even if you sold today, you've walked away with a lot of money. And now, I'm not somebody who likes to heavily short stocks. It's not what I do. I'd rather short cryptocurrencies or something like that. For all of you guys out there, there's going to be another crash. Let's not pretend like we know exactly when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen, right? During that time, if you guys have the capital, just do some dollar cost averaging on some stocks that you guys like. It could be a big tech one like an Apple or a Boeing or an Nvidia. It could be smaller ones like a Big Bear AI or something like that. Whatever you guys are hoping for there, just do some dollar cost averaging during the crash. When CNBC is telling you not to buy, the market's falling off a cliff, that's usually when you need to start buying up. Right? Like here, I still have that AI one here, that AI watch list. You can see how crazy these charts are. This is an AI stock chart that I've been loading up on called Big Bear. It's down 7% today, right? 7% today, but from the lows back over here in October, it's still up 75%. Right? At one point, it was down a lot more, all the way down here at 59 cents. So sometimes you can get a better opportunity. Just dollar cost average it. Put a few $100 into it, up to a few $1,000, depending on how much money you have to toss in, and see where it goes. My tech right here, this just had a crazy pop over the past few weeks. Popped up 28%. Now it's obviously come down more, like 10%? Those all types of things. You even got SoundHound over here. This one's coming down. Nerdy over here. This one's coming down. You even got cryptocurrencies plays. Even the cryptocurrency ones aren't falling down as much. Fetch. This one actually is. NMR coming down quite a bit. 11.29 up to 22. Oh yeah, that popped up over 100%. Ajax. These are coins I'm looking to buy in my personal long-term portfolio to see how they perform. Blockchain plus AI. Oh boy, that sounds great. But yeah, it is what it is. This market's just in a weird spot. I've never seen a market like this before, so I can give you guys advice on the day-to-day stuff and the week-to-week stuff, but when shit hits the fan, shit's gonna hit the fan. You just have to kind of wait and watch and start buying. That's the best thing you can do. I tried to buy the bottom of this Bitcoin market, and I ultimately failed last time. Past few months, I was like, after FTX, I was like, oh, we probably have to go a little bit down even more. But no, the FTX was the bottom. I thought we were gonna go down to like maybe $12,000 to $15,000. Did not, or $12,000 to $13,000. Look at that next Fibonacci cluster belt. Did not do it. But then, I was, one of you guys was saying like, hey, Michael, don't feel so bad. That's why you kept on telling us to do dollar cost averaging, because in case you don't get that big bottom, you're still able to buy quite a bit. And then we started talking about the 100 weekly moving average and stuff like that. So it all works out in the end, but you just have to have some hedges to help yourself out. I got my eyes on the S triple Q 3X Bear ETF on the triple Q and the SOXS 3X Bear ETF chips, holding on my long-term names though. Probably a safe way to go, but once that starts turning around, oh yeah, you better believe people are going to be hopping into a whole bunch of stuff like that. And you said look at ticker SPR. Spirit Aerosystems Holdings. You said they produce for Boeing. Weekly chart. Oh wow, this thing's been kind of a weird move here. It's kind of back at IPO prices of all things. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart. You can see, yeah, you can see what happened when the announcement came out. They dropped like a rock from going from $32 basically down to $25. Ooh, that's a big move. But hey, it was a buying opportunity. Excuse me. So, you know, things will get better, guys. It's just going to take some time as far as I'm concerned. We're just not, the economy, like the health of the average consumer is not that good. And it's probably not going to be good for a while because the government kind of keeps changing up the formulas to see what what people are, how people are doing. And usually you just have to run a poll, like economy polls. Here's a CBS poll. That's gas. 35% of America is saying the economy is good. Expect economy over the next year to be in a October now. And a recession 30%, slowing 23%, holding steady 26%, growing or booming 21%. All right. Holding steady is not good because everybody feels the economy is shit. So we're going to be staying in shit, we're going to be going deeper into shit, or we're going to go into extreme shit. You know, it's just not what you want to see happening. Biden approval rating 41%. Biden telling the economy 36%. Like, people have okay, they don't actually approve of his job. Frankly, I'm looking at this poll. They really don't. 41%. That's like 4 in 10 Americans say, "Oosh, he's good." The other 6 out of 10 is like, not good. Biden tailing the economy 36%. Inflation 33%. People just don't approve of the job he's doing in this specific realm. I don't know how that's going to really affect the election because, you know, it is what it is. Elections are about a whole bunch of different stuff, just not about the economy. But people just don't have a good view. And that will, over time, change their spending habits. Right now, it's more of like how much credit card debt can people take and how much money can the government print, because the government is trying to print so much money. Is Superverse and GME good investments? I do not know either one of those. What are those? GME? GMEE. It looks to be a cryptocurrency then. It's only on it's on a couple other platforms. As far as this is concerned, it looks like it's fairly new. Usually when you get these newer ones, you kind of just put $50 into them and see what happens. But coinmarketcap.com, GMEE, game. Oh wow, a market cap of 24 million. You only have to toss in $50 to see where that goes. That's like a couple spins at the slot machine, right? Markets. KuCoin, Gate.io, Mexi. It's on a few exchanges here, so it does have the opportunity to go higher. It has an X account, a Discord, and a Telegram. Let me go over here to their main page, and let me go over here to their Twitter account. 66,000 followers. They did post. They haven't posted in a few days, but I guess it's still fine. So it's an app. The Arcade of Blockchain. Mobile gaming. I see. Okay, so they're making themselves one gigantic funnel. It's worth a $50, $100. It's worth to give it a try. Look into their Discord to kind of see more about what they're talking about. But it seems like it might be fun just to hold some and see where it goes from there. Doesn't look bad. As far as the other one you just talked about, Superverse, I'm just going to copy this and Superfarm has rebranded to Superverse. Please kindly check the announcement socials. Number 172, a much higher market cap here of $250 million. Low cost here, which is kind of nice. Down 5%, not terrible today. Website. Superfarm is now Superverse DAO. Uh, um, this one not as much. They haven't posted since 2023. December. It's been a minute here. So on November 29th, it came out said as of today, Superverse will be focusing on 100% on gaming. Okay, massive updates in new gear. Stay tuned for big news. They don't post all too often here, it looks like. So October 23rd, October 18th. This one I don't like as much just because it seems like they're not trying to build up the community enough. But I maybe 20 to 30 bucks inside of it. You could put 50 bucks in there as well, but the way they're structured right now doesn't seem like it's worth it. The first one, the game one, seemed a lot more optimistic here, especially with those lower market caps. But again, for either one of those, it doesn't take a lot of money to make a good amount of money off of them. Anything on BlackRock, Bank of America, Friday earnings? No, not much going on so far. I expect them to have a profitable quarter. You've already seen BlackRock laying off employees due to shifting market conditions or whatever they put it. They should be fine. The banks have no reason to worry. Interest payment shouldn't be causing them too much stress. A lot of the banking problems that we had starting back in last March, they've seemed to come back and be like, okay, that's all good. Some of the smaller rural banks, they may be having issues, but the stuff of Silicon Valley seems to have gone away. And in fact, you've seen a lot of inflow leaving from those smaller banks going over to the larger banks. But I think that flow slowed down a lot back since then. So they should be fine as far as earnings are concerned. I'm not saying they're going to be blockbuster or something like that, but overall they should be fine. We're not going to see any like 20% drops or 20% spikes, something like that. Maybe they might have some news on their cryptocurrency ETFs and stuff like that, and maybe they can work that into their earnings revisions and see if they're going to be making a lot more money with it, stuff like that. That could be kind of interesting. All right. But okay, everybody, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go outside, smoke a cigar, and take Loki to go relax on the balcony. He's already sitting up as soon as I started saying his name. Hope you guys all had a good day talking with me. Pretty decent stream here. I think I started it like it's been like an hour or something like that. Relax. Bitcoin's still fine as of now. We're basically just waiting to see what happens. Watch those hourly charts just like I told you. Bitcoin's going to try to pop here in the next few minutes. It's just going to try to break above that 42,266 level. If it's able to do that, you should see one more surge. That surge is more of a day trade if you ask me, not a swing trade. If you guys are looking to swing trade, please, for heaven's sakes, just be aware of how crazy this day was and how crazy tomorrow can be with all the news that could come out. Because tomorrow was probably, or even Thursday, might have been the day that we have the spot Bitcoin ETF announcement. Now we might not hear about it till next week, which is just going to cause even more chaos in the market, okay?